Hello, VC Mark here. Welcome to the 6th installment of my Rare Diamonds series. I'm going to feature a band that I love, the Counting Crows. Talk a little bit about their first two albums, August and Everything After, which was released in 1993, and then their fantastic follow-up, Recovering the Satellites, and that was released in 1996. But first off, Adam Durrett's voice. Polarizing, absolutely. Lots of people love it. Some people hate it. I find Adam has a very passionate delivery, very unique vocal style. He does tend to over-enunciate at times. And when his voice is framed with, let's say, just a piano, as it is in Raining in Baltimore, it can be a little taxing. But for the most part, when it's mixed in with the band, I really enjoy it. It's a singular voice, much like Dylan's. You're not going to mistake Adam's voice for anyone else's. So, this album initially was not released on vinyl. I believe this is the first US pressing, and this was released in 2012. Put out by Analog Productions. The album is spread over 2 LPs. The album was produced by T-Bone Burnett. It was recorded by Pat McCarthy. Pat did a lot of work with REM. Always loved the sound of REM's albums. This album was so successful. I think sometimes it's almost a curse to have such a successful album right out of the gate. It's just a lot to have to live up to, especially with your sophomore release. So many singles. Round Here, Mr. Jones, Omaha. This album was everywhere. It was on the radio for what seemed like an eternity. I think people kind of were burnt out on the Counting Crows before their second album was even released. I really love their music. They're an alt-rock band, but there's a lot of folk flourishes on this release. I love the use of the accordion, lots of acoustic stringed instruments. I really love the non-single tracks, Perfect Blue Buildings, Anna Begins, and then my favorite song, Sullivan Street. Just a fantastic debut. They certainly could have made August Part 2, but their second release was a huge departure to their credit. A real rocking album as the Counting Crows go. Gil Norton produced this album. I believe he produced the Foo Fighters' second album. This is a phenomenal sounding album, if that's your thing. This was mastered by Robert Ludwig. The guitars and the drums on this album sound amazing. They were recorded so well. Obviously, that has a lot to do with Gil. There were 3 singles released from this album, but the whole album is so strong. I play this album from back to front. The album starts out with Catapult. That song leads in with just a mellotron. That's an instrument that you all know. Strawberry Fields, that instrument is all over Sgt. Pepper. If you're a fan of the Pumpkins, you'll recognize it from Space Boy. It just conjures up a lot of emotion. It's very atmospheric. I love that instrument. Anyway, then the guitars kick in, and that is a fantastic lead into the album. And then Angels of the Silences, that was released from the album. Awesome guitar work on that. And the drums, they were recorded so well. Let's see, I believe the third single was Daylight Fading. I really love Have You Seen Me Lately? Another great track. Goodnight Elizabeth. tons of great riffs on that track. I just can't say enough about this album. This is an OG pressing, especially in the series. I've been asked how much I've paid for these albums, and paid the sticker price, $13.98. I purchased all of these albums upon release. I probably would not be able to afford all these if I had to buy them today. As far as 90s pressings go, this is not bad. You can pick up a copy for around $125. I highly recommend this album, and it's just a phenomenal follow-up. This is a 2 LP set, obviously from the hype, and I'm trying to cut down the duration of my videos, so I'm going to let you go. But this comes to you highly recommended. Hope you enjoy the video. How Did I Forget Along December? One of my favorite Counting Crows songs. Definitely the most popular on this album. It's just a beautiful track. I was watching an interview recently where Adam was talking about composing that track. He said the song, the lyrics, the melody, the chords came to him within 5 or 10 minutes, and that seems to be the case with a lot of musicians. Their best work kind of just flows right out of them, and it's just a phenomenal song. One of their best.